This show is possible because of sponsors like Siempre Tequila. It's a good sipping tequila, good mixing for margaritas. Link in the description. Buy some right now.
The Anthony Rogers Show. Because every other show is ran by satanic pedophiles with no real entertainment value.
Welcome back to the greatest show in the entire universe. Today we have a huge guest, producer Baz the Frenchman. How you doing?
Wow, great. How are you?
Awesome. You look super professional, man. Like you look, you have the background of a producer for sure.
Dude, I just cleaned the room just for you.
I'm trapped in this island, so I don't have a choice. I'm just like, it's just the only place I get Wi-Fi on this island.
Right.
So, how did you get the name? Is Baz your actual name, or like is this a stage name, or like?
No, Bastien is my real name. Like if you saw Never-Ending Story.
Yeah.
Actually, my parents were big fan of that movie, and they call me Bastien because of that movie. But the series is here, everybody called Bastien, which is also another way to pronounce another name in French. So people starting to call me Baz, and it was easier for everybody.
That's interesting. That actually is cool. That's cool. And I assume you got the Frenchman nickname because you're from France, basically.
Yeah, people are yelling at me when they need something. They're Frenchman, and I'm like, okay, I'm coming. At some point, it became that joke.
No, it makes sense. So you're from France originally, I guess?
Yep. Yeah. France.
What part of France?
It's like a little corner between Belgium, Luxembourg, and Germany called Lorraine, which is northeast of France. It's called Yeah.
Is that the country?
Yeah. It is a country in the country.
No, I mean, is it the countryside? Not like.
Yeah, it's a countryside. Yeah, it's 3 hours from Paris, very close to German's border.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that's okay. Cool. Are you like every other French person I met? And you think Americans are dumb?
Well, you know what? I think everybody has a little amount of dumbness. So I know a lot of stupid French people. So trust me, you don't have the monopoly of stupidity.
Yeah, I just want to bring up controversy. Everybody always says it about French people. Are just so angry about America a lot. From the ones I know, anyway.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's bad everywhere. I'm an asshole for French. I realize that when I'm here now. Damn, we are raised with this feeling of superiority, and I feel it now when I'm here. And I'm hear myself talking. And I'm I don't think everybody talk like that in the US. Maybe that I have an issue. I had to bring it down my national self-esteem. Or you don't know anything about wine, because that's what I said for 1 year, and I was you don't know anything about wine. And then I went to Sonoma County, and people made me taste great wine. I was okay, maybe I was wrong. There is some good wines here.
That's so funny. Yeah, the French don't like the sweet wines, do they? They don't like everyone makes fun of you for drinking sweet wine all the time. They're that's not wine, it's sweet.
Yeah, not a big fan of. I mean, I'm not a big fan personally of sweet wine, but there's great dry wine Merlot, and I had some great experiences in California for the wine. And I know there's other places in the US with great wine and beer, but I think it's coming from jealousy. It's obvious. We have a saying in France America, they don't invent anything, they just do everything better. So that's why we're just a little upset.
That's hilarious, man. I know we have all the smart people from other countries come here, like you know, and myself. I mean, I was from my grandparents came here, I guess. I mean, so it's the all-star team, we're the best from everywhere. It's kind of cool. That's boring. It's a boring history lesson, though. Let's talk about some cool stuff you did. This is about a year old. But this is what interests me personally to reach out originally was that you basically made a classical arrangement, punk rock thing with NoFX, basically.
Yeah. It's 5 years ago now, 6 years.
That's 5 years ago. I found about a year ago. Okay, I didn't know it's 5. That's 5
I mean, the first version of it, because I did different arrangement of the Decline. This long song by NoFX.
Yeah.
And the first arrangement I did for 50 people, I think it was 2015. Yeah.
Oh wow, that was a while ago. Yeah. No, we're going way back in time for this one.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cool. So how'd you get wrapped up in that experience? That's kind of, you just saw. Were you doing it on a computer, or was this what made you come up with this?
Well, what happened is so before I did that orchestra thing, I did a cappella medleys, And so if I like try to wrap it up quickly, 6 years, 7 years ago, it was like this big boom for like this band Pentatonics, right? I did like this whole pop a cappella stuff, and I was like, fuck, like punk rock too is like great harmony and melody. And so I did that a cappella thing on NoFX. It worked on internet, and I was like, dang, internet really works for like people not not famous, you know. So I was like, damn, if that thing worked, maybe I can do something else with the decline. And people like started to tell me, you should do the fucking decline a cappella 18 minutes. And I said like, dude, 18 minutes of voices only, I'm gonna commit suicide myself, not just like writing it. So like, no, I don't want to listen to that thing. But it's a good like song for a symphony. And here it comes, like 6 months later, we did the symphony. I gathered like friends and people, you know, like people that know people that know people, and making phone calls, gathering like 50 people, shot it like just for free and for fun. And here I am now, 6 years later. That's kind of weird, playing it on stage with the band. Yeah.
That's really cool, man. Like, were you into classical music and punk rock, like, personally, or is it just like two genres that just kind of mixed because you're just a musician?
No, so I'm a drummer first, so which means
Okay.
I studied like jazz, and I have like this like, you know, the diplomas of jazz. But I was in a punk rock band since I'm 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
I had like maybe 5 or 6 different like punk bands, and my last one was like PO Box, a very cool like French ska punk band that took me all over the place. And those guys made me discover like the roots of skate punk, because like I'm younger, like I just turned 30, so basically like punk to me in my 15 was like Blink, some Offspring, the mainstream stuff, because I wasn't like close to other people who introduced me to the real or like the roots, right? So anyway, my last band, like they showed me like NoFX, Pennywise, Bad Religion, blah, boom boom, take it, analyze that thing, and I was like, damn, that's so cool. There's so many cool stuff. And then like the decline, I never like studied like orchestration. I studied like how to write music a little bit, but not that much. And I just like heard that thing, and I was like, damn, like all the vocal melodies and it rings in my ear like flute parts, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try. So I use like you asked for the software. I use like Ableton to do it, and like, you know, like just like looking for things and say, oh, what if I do that? But like no, like run a little random, you know, like I have no idea what's the range. Can a flute do that? Can a hobo go that low? I had no idea. I had to check, read some stuff. So obviously I learned some stuff doing it, but I had no fucking idea of what I was doing.
That's the most honest answer. I think a lot of people. That's where you find good stuff, man. Like experimenting and finding, like, I mean, just merging and matching up styles and stuff. That's cool, man. Like,
Yeah. And honestly, like now, like with a little like experience, I'm hearing again that performance, and I'm like, damn, that's so bad. Like the direction is made, like it's natural, right? You just look at yourself 5 years ago, and you're like, oh damn, I was a piece of shit, or like I was wrong, or like you just like you keep like evolving. It's natural, I guess. But like when I'm talking about music, like the orchestration itself, it's a little weak, you know, like the strings are too low. I mean, don't want to go into the details, but now I'm just like keep learning and reading stuff to improve that thing that people like.
that's awesome. That's probably why you look back and see it look bad, because you've improved so much in the time. That's interesting. I feel similar about like podcasts or comedies or like movies I made. Just anything I've worked on, I feel the same kind of way. I'm not music related, but like just like film or art or something like that. I look at that and be like, oh my god. Like I can't like listen back to podcasts from 2 years ago. I'm like, my voice, what is wrong with that? You know?
Yeah, exactly. It works with like anything, right? It's like even, I mean, even like not artistic or creative people, they look at photos, they're like, damn, I was so wrong about the outfits and stuff. So obviously for like creative people, it's worse. You're like, damn, what did I do? And I'm pretty sure like what I'm doing right now, in 10 years, I'm gonna be like, oh la la.
Yeah, if we grow wise, I mean that's the thing. Yeah, I mean we should gain wisdom and look, our youth is wasted almost. You know, if we're educated, you know, with the life. So what are you working on right now? I know I had some old stuff, but what are you working on right now? Like,
Right now I have like couple like like let's say basic like professional stuff. I'm mixing like some cool projects. I'm working with like this band, really cool band called Escape from the Zoo, which is like the same dudes from Days and Days, if you know that
yeah,
project.
yeah.
That's JC is in that band. It's really cool stuff. So like mixing that thing, but that's the normal part of my life. And but I'm working on my on orchestral arrangements right now, like because I just realized people like dig. I mean, some people like this concept of transposing punk rock music into the classical world, and I told myself, damn, I just did one thing, one cool thing of, but like still I was like, I was a little lazy because I got caught up in so many other things, but now I'm like, damn, I have like more time. Let's do some more orchestration of punk rock stuff, and here I am with my new Patreon thing. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, yeah, you can find Baz's Patreon link in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the info, and if you're listening on a streaming service, it's still in the description. But yeah, but that's cool. So that I think you're onto something with that because like, and a lot of punk fans are older now. We're not all kids anymore. I think we're like, and I'm about the same age as you, to where I got into it like you mean this was going on since the '70s apparently. Like so, yeah, I had no possibility to be around it in the birth of punk, but I mean, I think a lot of things have happened. I think your fresh like kind of take on it's interesting. So I think mixing orchestra with that's great. I mean, I think it's a great idea.
The thing is like, and it happens in every sphere. Like there is like we talked about like household and dumb people. There's dumb people in every like circle world. And like when I did my orchestration, people were like, "Fuck you! Don't touch punk rock. You can't do punk rock if you're educated." And I'm like, well, I mean, so what do I do? Like, I'm supposed to do like jazz all my life because I know what a scale is, you know? And I was like, no, I don't think so. I think there is great music everywhere, and my thing is to try to um, um, stress. I wouldn't say like the best part of it, but like what I'm hearing, I'm like, dang, this song is could be like such a cool piano sonata, you know, like this Bad Religion song could be like such a beautiful like back a fugato if you like just like transpose it, and there is like that. There's people like me everywhere on the internet, right? Like doing like covers and orchestration in a different way. Let's turn this black metal song into a very romantic ballad. Like it's all over the place because like we are with the internet era at a point where we have like so much inspiration and music in our head, you know. Like 60 years ago, I would have been like an educated musician. I might have found a gig and do my own path without even knowing what punk rock was, because you didn't have the same access to meet people, to travel, to listen to new music, and not the same parents too. Like my dad was like listening. My mom and my dad were like listening to all the kind of music, French song, traditional songs, classical, jazz, rock and roll, everything. And so obviously, when you're a musician, when you're coming from that background, like your ears are all over the place. When I'm listening to a jazz song, I'm like, damn, that rocks, you know. And some people who didn't get the background, the same background, they are like listening to jazz, they're like, freaking out. All music is like or classical music is like boring. But I understand that it's not like to blame them. It's normal. It's a matter of education and sensibility. So to wrap it up, because I'm speaking too much and it's not even my language, but to wrap it up, it's like when I have like this really, I think that song is so rad and should be like listening. I don't know how to say that. Listen to its own value. It's so cool to be able to transpose that to an orchestra, right? Like a Dead Kennedys song. My parents would be like, that sucks. I mean, Dead Kennedys to my parents, they would be like, I don't get it. Fair enough. But I'm like, now check it out like that. And like, whoa, that's cool. And it's not me, it's Dead Kennedys, but like it's just like I just did a little push and help to democratize, you know, popularize to another part of the population. That's what I'm trying to do.
No, that's awesome, man. And I like how you said like the punk people were like, you can't do that. I think there's nothing more punk than doing what you want to do still. You know, I think that's the attitude. It's like, I think that's kind of cool the way you kind of picture it. I love classical music for one, and I actually love punk as well. I probably have a very similar taste to like I are a wide variety of what I listen to. Like a musician, I'm just not talented. Like I have the same like listener base probably or listener habits. And that's just a cool thing to kind of focus on, man. Like so you were classically trained in jazz. You were trained in jazz more so as a jazz drummer, you said?
Yeah. I have like I did like this whole like thing, but I didn't go. I mean, some people like they push to national level. So I had my local like conservatory. I did my 4 or 5 years, I think, studying, and I had no clue what jazz was when I came there. Like to me, like music was from AC/DC to maybe Frank Sinatra. That's it for the more jazz thing.
Yeah.
And I what jazz, and I was like, just well, open-minded. You just like sit there and say, I'm gonna listen to you. And I met like some people super narrow as punk rock people, which is funny to me. It's like I met some jazz musicians saying like, no, you cannot do maybe you know that version of Radiohead by Paranoid Android by Brad
Yeah.
Meldo.
Yeah.
And like some people are like, no, you cannot like it's not jazz. Jazz should be like it's a certain form of jazz. And same with punk rock. People are like, no, punk rock is that thing, and you can have like poppy melodies or of a punk. Punk should be screamed, and it's there like people trying to claim what classical music should be everywhere, or what this stereotype should be. And it was interesting, like a learning experience, you know, because I was working at 8 in the morning, my thing, my chabada, my swing, and then at night I would go to fucking Brussels to play a punk rock show with but like to me it's the same like world, right? Like I didn't feel like different at any point of my day. I was just a musician. And it's the same thing when I'm conducting a symphony. I feel like I have like this thing on my face, and conductors too. Like when you look at professional conductors, like in front of an orchestra, they're like, fucking abolish this fucking world. You know, they're like full of, you know, passion, and what they feel inside they don't express with a microphone, and they can like sing their hate for whatever the world or like their life, or like they can express their passion directly with the microphone, but still in the face and the expression is the same feeling. So to me, a punk rock show is the same thing as a little ballad jazz swing concert. If there is emotion, there is emotion.
No, I agree. Yeah, they're just like subgenres of music. Like they're all music, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's weird. I think when people say it can't be done, it means they can't do it. So they don't have the perception to see that other people could possibly do things they can't.
Yeah, it's a matter of time, education too. I mean, um, especially like I feel some people are also like scared of having the frontier, the disappearing of frontiers between like genre and a style of music, because it's safe, right? There's
Yeah.
also this sense of community of like if you listen to techno music, it's techno music, but like it's also like a societal like like movement, right? Like for a certain kind of classical music was reserved to a certain kind of the population, and then like jazz music was like reserved to either like white people sitting there, but like it was black people like dancing there. And then you have like the Black Panther movement in the jazz music trying to get back this cultural appropriation from white people. Like there's like this social movement, or like you don't want to like human beings, they love to have like this classification, because it's like, no, it's my community, I'm listening to hip hop and that's my community. I don't want to have like a that part of the society take over this thing, because it's scary, because it's cultural appropriation too, right? And the same is punk rock with like any kind of musical genre. Like people love are afraid of like this that disappearance of frontiers and separation. They're like, what do I belong to? What do I belong to if like fucking educated people start to do punk rock? What do I where I'm gonna do? I'm supposed to, you know. It's I think it's a reflection of what's going on in society too, like this division. I mean, I'm trying to follow what's going on in the US, but like I don't know if you're aware of what's going on in France right now, but like it's terrible, like the division, and how like people are scared of each other. And I feel like in you know, in music and arts always like reflect the state of society. And when you have like somebody, it doesn't happen like that much to me, but I see that in so many like artists I produce, when they release a song and they're like bashed, like, don't touch that thing, I can't believe you made that guy thing. It's like, it's weird. It's weird, like we are living in such a connected generation. Look, you're interviewing from the fucking Bahamas right now. Like we are so like connected, and so like we have so much resentment to admit that we share more than a little bit of culture, but something else. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, most insults are just like projections of insecurities, basically. So people are just describing themselves. Like if I was to have criticism with you, it'd probably be my own personal criticism of myself. Yeah, that's just how people work. I mean, because I don't fucking know you. You don't know me. It's like I mean, even if we were like really close friends, you still don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like I had a weird question off the subject. But this is kind of a weird question potentially. But do you is your internal monologue French and then you're translating to English to talk? Is that what you're?
No, 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 no. Now it became like more natural. So
Okay, because I was just wondering how, like, because I have never had to speak multiple languages. I mean, I could probably evolve if I had to, but so your internal monologue's now English from living here for a while.
yeah, yeah. I'm starting to dream in
It's
it. I mean, I'm dreaming in English for like a good year now.
dreaming's interesting too. I never thought about that. So you used to dream in French, now you dream in English.
Yeah, sometimes I dream in French, sometimes I dream in English, but like that's something they say like the professor like the learn language professor they would say you like it takes a while, but after like 2 years of being in the culture, you start to dream. Like your brain doesn't think that much in French. Now it's becoming like hard to me to talk to my parents in French. I'm having like harder time to
Huh.
find my words in French because sometimes I have like those words like that popping up, and it's also like some concept popping up in my head in English, and I'm like, damn, how do you say that in French? Like there is a word for that, and I can't really find it. It takes me a minute.
So that's funny. So you're having the problem with the like French, not that's interesting. It's like I was wondering that because like how long have you lived in America now? Like
It's been in LA 1 year and a half, but before that I came to SF.
okay,
But it was more like back and forth, so my brain could rest a little bit. It was like 2 months in SF, 2 months in France, like
got you.
some missions. But now it's been like, especially with COVID, like I didn't came back to France for 1 year and 4 months now.
Oh wow, that's interesting, man. It's kind of an interesting kind of odd. 'Cause, yeah, I mean, I imagine the French would have to speak like what German, Spanish, English, just because of all the countries around them. If they want to negotiate with business and stuff. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, like, and it's not like to spit on my country, but like we are not good. We don't have a great language educational system. It's not. I mean, at least in English, it's not very pragmatic. Now I'm more like fluent in that language. I realize how things were like very non-pragmatic, like very intellectual and disconnected from the reality. But also, like, it's hard, man, because like for example, in California, if you start to learn Spanish, you can speak Spanish with whoever you. I mean, a lot of people in California, especially in South California, there's
true.
a lot of Hispanic Mexican culture, and so like you can practice your language. In France, it's very like you don't go at the fucking boulangerie and you ask something in English to practice.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had like 8 years of English before like leaving the first cycle of 18. So like from 10 to 11, yeah, 7 years of English. And at 18, I started to tour, like to go to Germany, Japan, Russia, and like moving out. And then I started to, I was like, oh damn, that's helpful. But before that, honestly, I wasn't that great, and I had very good grades, but I wasn't speaking English. Does it make sense?
No, it totally makes sense. That's why I was kind of thinking like why you would need to know multiple languages being in France. I think it'd be I think because like all the if you want to do business with any countries around them, in your case music, but I think if you want to do any kind of business or friends outside, I mean you'd have to. It's like if I'm in Missouri, so it's like if I had to go to Kansas and learn another language. I mean it would be the same thing, or Illinois or something. It'd be the same. I would adapt. I feel like as well because I feel like you have to sink or swim kind of thing. It's like
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I speak a little bit of like some stuff, itadakimasu, or like ambition, spreche ambition Deutsch. Mein Name is Bastian. So just because when you go visit a country, you like to be like kind to people, and
definitely.
it's a way to be humble and to say like I know I'm not at my home, so I'm gonna just say a couple words in German and then speak English. And same with like in Spain, I would like always like introduce myself in Spanish and then move slowly to English, or like ask in Spanish if they speak English. And if they can't, I'm gonna try to get a solution with the few words I know in Spanish. But it's always like a really good thing to just like be humble and say like hi in their own language.
No, it's smart and interesting. I like that perspective. I think it's very like honest and authentic description of language. Honestly,
I mean,
it's
it's
good.
like any kind of human. I mean, even as a reaction, if I would, let's see, like I had a discussion with my wife like the other day. We tried to solve something on internet, whatever. Like two guys like came over and spoke like I think it was Armenian or Russian all the time, and I speak a little bit Russian, but not that much. And the thing is, like I wouldn't do that. Like even if I can speak, if I'm with my French partner, and if I speak like one on one, I would be like speaking French, of course. But like if I in a discussion, I wouldn't like having this kind of low conversation, like speaking French, like looking at people. That's super aggressive. It's more aggressive than saying like aggressive thing in English. You know what I mean?
No, it is. It's funny. No, it kind of is.
So I told them that hey, I speak Russian in Russian. I told them. So and I was like, can we please like speak English for my wife because she doesn't speak Russian. And he was like, yeah, sure. Like just a way because especially when you don't know people, it's super like rude. I feel just like even if you don't speak a lot, you just like couple words, it's fine, you know. But don't. I mean, that's something that really like I think it's rude and aggressive.
No, I agree, and
We,
that's why I like
we,
the.
yeah, so sorry. We would, for example, I remember like on being on tour with my band, so like 7 French people in out of a restaurant, and we were like we surprised ourselves to be like to told each other like, hey, can we chill? Like for example, you're fucking Burger King and you're having like a lunch and you're like yelling in French or like laughing and saying stuff, and we like told ourselves like, hey, can we chill? Because like it's super rude. You're like foreigners people, you don't know what they're saying. They're not. It's feeling of yeah, disrespect. So I try to avoid that.
No, I think that's a good point. I think it's really well thought out. I think a lot of people think like that, but I think it's thought out. Are your drums set up where you can play something behind like for a second or what?
Yeah. I have like this like two cool setup here. Like so that's my little studio, and you see like I have like this drum kit here. It's like a electronic one, and it's patched like straight into the computer. So if I want to play like this kind of techno hip hop stuff, that's pretty cool to do.
That
But I have
is.
this like this like oh, I just got this thing for my birthday. I have the best life in the world. Oh. Funny, it's like when you do like the punk beats, like that thing doesn't speak at all for jazz people. Talking about like discover like each other. When I had like, for example, when I was like speaking with my teacher a long time ago, and I was playing like that thing before he came to give me lesson, he was like, "What the fuck is that?" And so
That's
like, and that's when I realized I was like, "Dang, like we don't know, like it's incredible like how limited like even now like I have no idea to play like traditional music. Like you take me to Mozambique or Guinea, like people they're gonna fucking bands and drums and me with my like 25 years of educate percussion. I wouldn't be able to play that. Like like learning stuff, it's always in a little tiny bubble. You have to keep I'm trying to keep reminding myself, you know nothing, like humble
that's a
and
great point. I think it's how you seek more knowledge, yeah, without thinking you're already there.
yeah, absolutely. But it's hard, especially it's very hard, especially in this generation we're living in, right? Or like it's constant ego feeding, right? But that's that's the tools we have at our disposition. It's not. I don't think we became more self-absorbed, but I think like the tools the society gave us, which is like the social media, are made to boost our ego. Like the like the popping up. It's not like when I like something, it's not. I'm not saying all my love to somebody, you know. I'm not like a, but the way like our brain is processing it, suddenly like it becomes like this big thing, or like, oh, I had like more like than the last time, so I'm getting better. I'm worthing something, and then you totally losing yourself in that ocean of ego and egomania. So it's really hard to keep your 2 feet on the ground, and yeah, trying to stay like focus on work and discovering and being humble. And it's a daily work, and that's very useful to have a wife not musician at all to remind you like, chill.
Ah, no, I think love keeps us balanced for sure. I think especially as men, I think we're like basically psychopaths without love. You mean, that's how it seems to me anyway. Like I don't know.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Is your wife French as well? You meet her in France or America, or how'd you guys meet?
Oh, America.
Oh, cool.
A lovely Texan woman.
Okay, that's awesome, man. That's cool. No, I love the world, man. So it's cool just hearing like, about anything like that. I love the whole world seems pretty cool. I know we're supposed to just argue about politics or something, but it was good to have a good conversation, man. Like, I appreciate.
Dude, like, give me like politics, I'm gonna go for it.
Give you what?
Lead me into politics, we're gonna go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that always ends well, doesn't it? It's always a good conversation talking politics and religion with like people you just met, right? Like, it always seems to.
Yeah, that's a good way to break the ice.
That's funny. Well, I feel like draw any promo you want real fast before we get out or something like that. I kind of like, you got a good vibe. I'm kind of impressed by like what you're doing, man. Honestly, and I hope people check you out and stuff. Like Google him, and his Patreon's in the description. But if there's anything else you want to throw out for people, like
no, like it was like such a good time talking to you. Like it made my walls to you like warmer to see like the palm tree behind you. And yeah, the Patreon is a thing that I'm the more excited with, because it's very I don't know, like self satisfying. Like I can really have fun like working on the things, and I'm already like working with an orchestra in France to make it play once. So eventually when COVID chills and like things get better, like in 1 year, 2 years, who knows. But it's all like a super positive energy that coming from this Patreon, and it's really nice to be able, especially I'm just like taking almost like 1 hour every time I'm dropping a song. I'm taking 1 hour like that, sitting behind the computer and like showing you the session, and so I'm breaking down the whole song, try to explain like what I'm doing, when I'm choosing, why I did that thing, that type of like inflection on the cello, or this kind of flute that I'm choosing. It's always like a little bit nerdy, but for people who wants to get more into orchestration and stuff, it's also interesting, I think.